Welcome grade 5s to your practical activity 1. I don't know why. On page 98, we are going to be looking at the plaster of Paris practical activity to investigate processing by mixing and setting. So for this experiment, we need a paper cup or a clean empty yogurt tub. I have a plastic tub, a strong wooden spoon or a stick. I have my trusty chopstick. Then we need a half a cup of water, which I have here. And then we need our quarter cup of plaster of Paris, which I have here. And obviously you can see that we have newspaper. So for our method, we have newspaper to protect our work surface. We are going to place the plaster of Paris in our yogurt tub or our tub. Okay, you can see it looks very soft and powdery and white. It looks very similar to flour. And then we are going to slowly add warm water to the powder until it is runny and combine the mixture using the wooden spoon, in my case a chopstick. So let us do that. Okay, no. Okay, so I've had to add in a little bit more plaster of Paris because the water was too much. It has to become like a clay texture, so you can see like this, because in order to make molds and decorations, even to use it as a cast on broken bones, it has to be this texture because it has to mold, and like this it'll dry easier. So this is the consistency. It's nice and thick, and we are going to leave this to set while we answer the questions on page 99. Okay, just gonna leave that like that. Okay, so in your textbooks, let's see. So the questions we have: list the starting materials. Obviously our starting materials was plaster of Paris and half a cup of water. What are the properties of plaster of Paris that you can see and feel? The plaster of Paris was very soft, it was white, it was powdery. Like I said, it was very similar to baby powder or to cooking flour that you would use in a cake. Number 3, describe the mixture immediately after mixing water into the powder. It got very runny and then it thickened up, as you can see. I made it much thicker. What happened to the mixture after some time? Hopefully this will start to get hard. It should get hard, as you understand. If we make molds, if you leave it to dry, it will get hard. Number 5, how do you know that you have a new material? Because I cannot separate the water and the plaster of Paris at this time. So therefore, I mixed 2 materials to make one new material, because I cannot separate this. This is a brand new material that we have made. Number 6, what is plaster of Paris used for? As I've said, plaster of Paris is used for casts on broken bones. It is used to make molds. It is used to fireproof because it is fire resistant. People also use it on their roofs to fix holes and to fix things. People use it for art. They make plaster of Paris sculptures and then they paint them. So yeah, it's used for all those things. Number 7, what properties does plaster of Paris have that make it a suitable material for the job it has to do? The properties it has: it dries hard, it is fire resistant, and it doesn't crack. And also it is easily moldable. You have some time before plaster of Paris decides to get hard to make it into a sculpture or whatever shape that you want it. So yeah, those are the properties that plaster of Paris has. I will show you later what it looks like when it is hardened. It's going to take some time to set, and we'll come back later and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so from our last experiment, our plaster of Paris, here is the end result. It is pretty hard. I can still break it. Well, that piece I can't break. But yeah, so this is the end result. I don't think I can pull it out, but you can see it's rock hard now. So that is the end result of our experiment with plaster of Paris. So this experiment, practical activity 3 on page 100, we need a disposable container. I'm going to be using a bowl. I need another wooden stick, which I have. I need 2 cups of water, which I have. And I need a cup of flour and an old paintbrush. And obviously we have our newspaper to protect our surface area. So what we're going to do, our method, we are going to place the flour in our container. You can see it is nice, and it's a lot of flour. It's a whole cup. Okay, I'm going to make like a little well in the middle. And then we are going to slowly add the water to make a runny mixture. And we're going to mix until there's no lumps, so it's going to be nice and smooth. And so we don't want lumps in our glue, because essentially what we are making is glue. And just stir that. Oops. Okay. Then we are going to use our paintbrush to spread some of the mixture between 2 layers of newspaper and let it to dry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take our glue mixture and I'm going to show you on paper. I've got my paper strips. You can use newspaper if you wanted to do this yourself. This is actually a nice craft activity. So I've got our glue and I'm going to just paint some on. Another faster way you can do this if you wanted to is like actually dip the paper in the flour mixture. I'm just showing you using a paintbrush because it's easier. Okay, so I have stuck all my paper onto my other paper using the glue mixture. So we're going to let that dry, and I'm going to do the questions with you on page 101 in your textbooks. So list the starting materials. It was flour and water. What are the properties of the dry materials? Obviously our dry material was the flour. The properties of the flour is it was soft, it was dry, it was powdery, yeah, anything like that. Number 3, describe the mixture that you made with the flour and water. It was very runny, it is sticky. Yeah, it is actually just very runny. It's not gooey. I wouldn't say it's a gooey consistency, so more just runny and sticky. Number 4, how do you know that you have made a new material? The same with the plaster of Paris. We've made a new material because we cannot separate the flour and the water at this time anymore. It is completely mixed together and it has made one new material. Can this mixture be used as glue, and why? Yes, because when it dries, it becomes very sticky. And you'll see now, when our strips dry, if I try and peel them off, like already it is starting to dry. So yes, this mixture is and has been known to be used as glue, especially in the 70s. They used to put posters up with this mixture instead of using press stick. What properties does the glue mixture have that makes it a suitable material for the job it has to do? It is adhesive, which means it sticks. It has a good bonding agent, which means it bonds quickly to paper, which is the same as being adhesive. It's sticky. It cannot come undone easily. When this dries and I have to peel this off, it is going to tear. You actually cannot separate the two papers because it cannot become undone easily. So that is practical activity 3, and thank you.